Howdy. Welcome back to the top 10 albums of Metallica. Continuing with number 4, we have Death Magnetic, released in 2008. The top tracks are going to be That Was Just Your Life, The Unforgiven 3, and The Judas Kiss. Death Magnetic, in my personal opinion, the band's most underappreciated album. You know, after what they released in 2003, I felt like they had something to prove with this record. It was really a return to basis, return to form for the band, and I believe they hit it out of the park with this album. All these songs, except for two, could easily be top 3 tracks. I love this album so much, and I think that not enough people are talking about it, so let's discuss it today. My name is TJ Stevens. This is Death Magnetic. So a couple things to note before we start this album. One, the production. It was overcompressed as hell. I'll put up a picture, but you can see the sound waves and just how fucking fat and loud this thing was when it first released. I never minded it because back in the day I had such a hard time hearing songs. I had such crappy headphones. When you listen to Death Magnetic, you don't have that problem. It's always loud. It's probably the reason why I have hearing problems today. I'm sorry, what'd you say? But another thing I want to mention is the producer of this album. Everywhere I go, it always says Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin apparently produced this record. But if you look at the behind the scenes video, like the mini documentary of this thing, you don't ever fucking see Rick Rubin in the studio with the guys. You never see him. Maybe once or twice you'll actually see him. But the guy that usually does the heavy lifting, you know, the one that's actually working the board, is American recording engineer Greg Feidelman. He's the guy that you're going to be seeing working with, you know, with the rest of the band. So I always thought that was so peculiar. You never see Rick Rubin in the actual process. At least not on tape. Maybe he was there behind the scenes. Maybe he didn't want to be on camera. I'm not sure, but that always stuck out as odd to me. But let's go ahead and get into it with our first track, That Was Just Your Life. A very slow intro to this song, and it really builds up well. It has like a heartbeat going on, and it's so cool, the themes about this album having to do with death, that we start the whole thing with a heartbeat. Fucking genius. That Was Just Your Life. Once it kicks in, man, is it a banger. It's fast, it's heavy, it's everything that you want out of Metallica. And my favorite thing are the vocals. Very, very quick vocals, very staccato-y. A little bit too quick. James kind of tries to fit in a few more words than necessary. But other than that, this is a great song. The chorus is hard as hell. I don't know how the hell James sings that chorus and plays the offbeat guitar line or the off-time guitar line. It's hard. It's very difficult, but James has always found a way around that. So That Was Just Your Life. Easy recommendation. The best way to start this album. Check it out. The next 2 songs, I'm going to combine them because they accomplish the same goal. But your next 2 songs are going to be The End of the Line and Broken, Beat, and Scarred. 2 very heavy tracks that stop in the middle of their songs and they both go different directions. With The End of the Line, it's a very heavy tune. It's very progressive too. It kind of reminds me of Injustice, you know, all the intricate parts that they try to fit into this song. But once everything calms down and you get to that slave becomes a master part, oh man, this whole album is filled with just these fast songs that slow down, you know, that pretty much stop. And you have these beautiful, clean sections that I'm just such a big fan of. The End of the Line is one of those examples. The Broken, Beat, and Scarred, whenever it stops, it just gets more heavier. It has a sick-ass breakdown. Oh, I love that part. The songs as a whole, both of them, yeah, you can take it or leave it. I listen to these songs for those parts coming up. The rest of them, I can kind of live without. These are the only 2 songs on the album that I feel can kind of be interchangeable. You can take one out, leave them. It's just my opinion, but you know, once you get past the first 3 songs, the rest is just let's talk about it. But For right now, end of the line, Broken, Beaten, Scarred, decent songs with amazing bridges. So that brings us to The Day That Never Comes. I guess it's a ballad or it's an epic. This is, I think Metallica was trying to channel one or just one of those big, thematic songs that have a soft beginning and it builds and builds and builds, just like one did, until it reaches its crescendo, and then it just takes you to another place entirely. Once you get to the heavy section or the fast section of the song, it takes on a whole new identity all in itself, and I really like that. I remember back in the day whenever this album first came out, there's this guy named Muse Productions, I think. I used to watch him all the time. But he was shitting on this song so much, and that's when I realized, I was like, people just hate this band no matter what they do. I can't hate this song. I think once the band retires, you're going to hear a lot more people talk about The Day That Never Comes, because I do think it is that good, damn near a masterpiece. But that's just my opinion. It's definitely one of their more, I guess, triumphant songs. They accomplish a lot with this tune. I say check it out. After that, we have our fifth track, which is All Nightmare Long. I be at the club sometimes, and All Nightmare Long will come on, and I'll talk to a baddie. I'll be like, hey, you know this song was the theme to 2008 No Mercy? No, I'm kidding. It is the theme, which is fucking crazy. Why would you have an 8-minute long theme song for your pay-per-view? I digress. All Nightmare Long is great. It's great. It's kind of a tease, though, because if you look at what kind of inspired this song, you'll see that bassist Roberto Trujillo, he was just playing some flamenco acoustic guitar, and James is so quick, his ear is just so in tune with that stuff, he started picking apart riffs and everything, stuff that can be repeated and whatnot. But there were some riffs that they play that I wish stayed in the song. You hear what Robert was cooking at first, and then you hear the finished product, and it's just like, some parts got missed in translation. It doesn't kill the song, but man, it would have really enhanced it that much more. But All Nightmare Long is still a great track. They went to drop D for this song. Lars is going ballistic. He goes ballistic for this entire album. Lars really had something to prove with this record. He may not play all the parts live, but he made damn sure that, each part stood out with his drumming. He does a lot of stuff on this song. Damn near the the last 2 minutes or so is just all double bass. It's incredible. But All Nightmare Long, it will take care of you. It's just quite a lengthy one at over 8 minutes. And guess what? Third longest song of the album. Strap in. All right. Now we have Cyanide. Ooh, Cyanide. I forgot how much I love this song. I really do. And a fucking bitchin' thing that I discovered when looking at the comments, I don't know if this was intentional. Again, if it's not intentional, that's the best thing about music, is that this can be all interpreted however you want. But the opening song, the beat goes like this. Ba, 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 bam, 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 ba, ba, ba. If you translate that rhythm to Morse code, what the message will be SOS, help. Which, with SOS and the history of this band, going back to the one music video, is such a badass tie-in that I really wish that it was intentional. I have a feeling it's not. But the fact that Cyanide has to deal, the whole album has to deal with death and despair and all these dark themes, the fact that they are literally saying help with their music rhythm, it's just fucking crazy. I like it. I like it a lot. This song is great. Fun, bumpy-ass verses. Robert is going crazy with the bass. Lars is complimenting that very well, and then you got the rest of the guys coming in. What really got my rocks off that I forgot, totally forgot, was the clean parts. Whenever James is, say, is that rain or are they tears? Oh, I was watching Bottles the other day, and that part came on dead ass. Had to repeat it 4 or 5 times. Man, do I love that section when everything doesn't come to a stop. Actually, it is a clean section, but it's mixed in so well with all the heaviness that's surrounding you. It's just, you can't get enough of it. You wish they play it 3 times more than they actually do. Ah, man, Cyanide, great track. I remember, like, to this day, for some reason, one of somebody that I used to go to high school with, this was her favorite Metallica song. I remember being so perplexed. And this was, what, 2011, 2012 that I asked her this, and she said, yeah, Cyanide. I fuck with Cyanide. I was like, okay, I fuck with Cyanide too. And I hope that you fuck with Cyanide as well. The song, not the not the chemical. After that, we have the third installment, and probably the last installment of the Unforgiven series. We have the Unforgiven 3. All right, what can I say about the Unforgiven 3? I think it's a masterpiece. And honestly, it's my favorite Unforgiven. Unforgiven 1 is the best Unforgiven, subjectively. I don't think there's any debate about it. But what this song does for me, oh, good Lord. He has this theme, this very aquatic theme, about set sailing to sea, but being blown off course. Those lyrics mean so much to me, is that you have these intentions, but sometimes, plans change, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches. But the main lyric that always sticks out with me is, how can I blame you when it's me that I can't forgive? Powerful words there. And it's cool that this, the Unforgiven 1 and 2 are really tied together, because they share so many, what's the word? Oh, they share so many, it starts with, fuck. Oh man, it's gonna kill me. Motifs, thank you. They share similar motifs, the Unforgiven 1 and 2. The Unforgiven 3 splits off from that entirely. They have piano on the intro, have very, very clean verses. But once it does get heavy, it reminds me of the Unforgiven 1 with those dynamics. But James, I don't know, he just seems much more, much more exposed, for lack of a better term. I don't want to use the term exposed, but he seems very exposed with these lyrics, and just the fact that he's opening up and really, letting his true self speak with this song. Another great thing about this song, holy shit, is the bridge. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. If the song's chorus doesn't get me in, you know damn sure the bridge will. But it has a very soft build, and these fucking guys are carpenters, because they build up so well. But it just builds and builds and builds, and then whenever James, why can't I forgive this? Kirk Hammett comes in with a screeching ass solo. Feels like somebody is screaming at you once he comes into the song. And Kirk was on another level they all were. They were all just on their A game with this album. You can tell they had something to prove after the previous release. And one of the main reasons why I like this album so much is that everybody has a writing credit. Everybody worked on this song. And you look at the behind the scenes, you see every day. If it's not all four of the guys in the studio, it's, they're tag teaming it. They're triple threading it. They're always working on something. And I gotta admire that. As a musician, just seeing all the cogs in the wheel turn, and seeing what something starts as and what something ends up as, it's always beautiful to see. And anytime you see your favorite artist is really putting in the work to make sure that they're giving out something worth of substance, you can always appreciate that. And I deeply appreciate the Unforgiven 3. After that, we have the Judas Kiss. Not a lot of people talk about the Judas Kiss, but I'm saying you're missing out. You're missing out. I'm assuming it has to do with our old pal Judas. But you look at the lyrics whenever he's talking about how kings abuse their crowns near the end of this song. I think it's very fitting for today's world, unfortunately. But this whole song is just, it's a roller coaster. Look up the Judas Kiss riff, just James recording it in the studio, and see how fast he's going. Not only how fast he's going, but he's just like, he's locked in. He's in there. He's a professional. What do you expect? But the Judas Kiss has one of my favorite Metallica choruses. And whenever he says, bow down, sell your soul to me. Oh, man. Can't get enough of that. And just the whole makeup of the song is very heavy. It doesn't linger on too many parts for too long. It's always changing. You can say that a lot about these songs. They're constantly changing, constantly evolving into their next form until the song is over. But definitely check out Judas Kiss. It's one of my favorite songs on this album. Underrated song for an underrated album, so check it out. Our penultimate track, we have Suicide and Redemption. The first instrumental since, I think, Injustice, and their last instrumental to date, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure this is their last instrumental. Metallica, I want to say they have 5 instrumentals. This is their 5th best one. And that really sucks to say because this song fucking rules. The longest song on the record, of course, it had to be the instrumental, coming in at 9 minutes and 57 seconds, just 3 seconds short of 10 minutes there. And it's worth every single one, every single millisecond. This song is worth it. Fades in with some heaviness, kind of reminds me of To Live Is To Die, just the dynamics are switched a little bit. The main riff, it's so interesting how this band is able to convey emotion without saying a word. You hear all of these riffs and you see, the journey that it takes you through. It's amazing. I'm always just dumbfounded by how this band or any musician can really portray an emotion just through the power of sound. Such an awesome thing to do. And then again, once everything slows down and you get that clean solo, do 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 do. Ah, come on now, come on. How can you hate on that? The ending, it fades out. Unfortunately, I forgot to mention that on the Black Album, half the songs fade out. I fucking hate fade outs. I really hate fade outs because you're gonna have to write an ending to the song. It's not important. It's not important. I don't want to get work done. The song does fade out. And I wish there was just a little bit more of a conclusive ending to this track, but as it stands, it's still a pretty good tune. I'm not going to say the worst instrumental, but it's just the least best, because this song is still worth your time, still worth the listen. Now we get to our closer, My Apocalypse. My Apocalypse, it's a great closer, especially for this album. But, as far as where it falls in the lineage of Metallica songs, I can honestly take it or leave it. It's still fun to play. There's a part, like, right before the solo happens. There's a whole riff that whole riff is actually pretty creepy. But right before the solo kicks in, you get a sound effect that it sounds like a car is speeding off a cliff, right? Or, it's about to crash or whatever. And Kurt comes in with that solo. He matches it very well. I like that part. But it's a very solid end to this album. Probably won't get many listens to this for My Apocalypse. I don't think that's going to be in anybody's top 10 Metallica songs. But I like it enough. And it's a decent closer for this album. So, that was Death Magnetic, coming in at a staggering 74 minutes and 54 seconds. So, I doubt that this album is going to be in a lot of people's top 5 when it comes to Metallica. But I'm saying, man, you just got to give it a listen. It ages beautifully. All production mishaps and all that other stuff aside, I think this album ages beautifully. Just a matter of how long or how loud you would like to listen to these songs. But, man, I always give Death Magnetic the time of day. And even going back to whenever I was first making this list, I knew Death Magnetic was going to be high. I didn't think it was going to be number 4, and I was listening to it, and I was like, you know what, yeah, I can fuck with these songs a lot. Maybe it's because the album was released in September, and, I'm a September baby, so maybe I have some correlation with that. Maybe it was because of the fact it was the theme of No Mercy 2008. I don't know. Or not the album, just All Nightmare Long. Can you imagine the whole album being a theme for a pay-per-view? Triple H would make that happen if he could. He would make that happen. But I'm telling y'all, man, listen to this album, take a deep dive, and if you're really interested, look on how they make these songs, look on how, everybody really comes together as a team, as a band, to make sure that this is the best product that they can put out. And in 2008, I don't think they could have put out anything better. So Death Magnetic is going to be number 4 on this list. Let me know where it would place on yours. Would you place it higher, lower, or take it off entirely? As always, let me know down below, and stay tuned.